What if one tick bite could make you allergic to meat for the rest of your life?
Overnight, I literally went from being active to flatlined. And it was terrifying.
For Candace Mathis, the fear was twofold. Her blood pressure dropped, her stomach in painful distress. Worst of all, the mother of three had absolutely no idea why.
It was very unnerving and overwhelming.
For 15 years, she suffered before one doctor finally found the cause: a single bite from a Lone Star tick, giving Candace alpha-gal syndrome. The condition not just painful but dangerous too, causing a food allergy to red meat and other foods.
That's right, a single bite from the Lone Star tick can rewire your entire immune system to make you violently allergic to red meat. Tens of thousands of cases are being diagnosed, and according to the CDC, the numbers keep climbing every single year. But here's where things get weird. Is this sudden spread just another consequence of climate change, like the experts keep telling us, or is it something much darker? A recent article in the New York Times: why is Martha's Vineyard going vegan? It's all about tick bites. Islanders' diets are being upended by an onslaught of alpha-gal syndrome, a tick-induced allergy to meat and dairy. But this is not just happening in elite enclaves like Martha's Vineyard. It's happening everywhere. Between 2017 and 2022, CDC labs have confirmed over 90,000 positive cases, but the CDC estimates that the real number could be as high as 450,000 Americans. That's nearly 500,000 people who suddenly can't eat steak, pork, or lamb anymore, not by choice, but because their immune system has been reprogrammed by a tick. Experts are pointing to climate change as the reason, claiming that warmer winters and extended summers enable ticks to survive and reproduce in previously inhospitable regions, which as a result is causing more people to be bitten and leading to a steep increase in meat allergies. Quote, "It's sort of supersized vegetarianism," said Rebecca Miller, a farm owner who suffers from the syndrome. Supersized vegetarianism, which scientists actually argue is good for the environment. They say plant diets lead to 75% less climate heating emissions, water pollution, and land use than meat-rich ones. So what a convenient allergy, one could say. Now the question is this all a coincidence? I mean, people couldn't be so evil as to suggest that we bioengineer something like this on purpose, could they?
So I'll give two examples. So one is that people eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it. I'm one of those, by the way. So, but so here's the thought, right? So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance. And some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Excuse me? The gall of this guy just to be so casual about something wildly unethical. I mean, what do these people think of us? Now, before you dismiss this as some wild conspiracy theory, let's remember something. The US government has a long documented history of experimenting with insects like ticks as weapons. This is not speculation, it's just a fact. During the Cold War, the Army ran tests out of Fort Detrick, Maryland, releasing ticks and mosquitoes to study how they could spread disease. There's also a facility called Plum Island Animal Disease Center that for decades specialized in studying livestock pathogens and other bioweapons. In 2019, Congress actually ordered an investigation into whether the Pentagon once weaponized ticks to spread Lyme disease. It never passed the Senate, unfortunately, but it would have required the agency to say if it experimented with insects for use as a biological weapon between 1950 and 1975. So think about this logically, okay? 1, the Lone Star tick is spreading like gangbusters all of a sudden. 2, that spread just happens to trigger a meat allergy, which scientists are openly suggesting as a solution, a quote-unquote solution to climate change. And 3, the US government literally has a track record of experimenting with ticks as weapons. Individually, maybe these are all coincidences, but put it together, it starts to look like a playbook. And here's where things really get convenient. As more people lose their ability to eat traditional meat, an entire cottage industry of lab-grown meats backed by billionaires like Bill Gates is waiting in the wings. Over the past several years, the FDA has approved genetically engineered, quote, gal-safe meats designed to bypass the very allergy these ticks cause. In other words, create the problem, sell the solution. So is all of this just climate change, a convenient coincidence, or something much darker? You tell me. That is it for me this week. Let me know what you think is going on in the comment section down below. If you find value from these kinds of pieces, please take a second to like this video, share it with someone, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want more. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in the next one.